NTU Stock Exchange open? There's this saying actually from Xunzi that says that tell me and I'll forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I'll understand. So the traditional way of teaching by lecturing is not as effective as having you try it out. And the advantage for doing research in experimental economics is that I have plenty of experiments that I can sort of transform into classroom experiments to get students involved. 3, 2, 1, time's up, time's up. The boringest chapter of Principles of Economics is on production, because it's focused on how a firm decides how much input to put in and what is the output. And it's just calculation after calculation. So I find that very difficult to teach because students just fall asleep. But one of my friends who was also teaching principles, he invented this classroom experiment where you actually have students to actually do the production in the classroom. Only 3 people can touch it. 只有3个人可以碰哦，其他人只能看。And so the idea is to have 2 tools for production, and you start to add labor to this, so that in the first round you have only 1 student to produce. In the second round you have 2 students. In the third round you have 3, and so on. What the students do is they have the third guy is trying to pass along the material to act as the assembly line. But when you have number 4, number 5, then it's really getting crowded, and production actually goes down. So you see very obviously that there is diminishing marginal return. Sometimes the performance even the marginal return, the marginal product of the last guy, it could even be negative. 16, 所以17张牌。The public good game is one of the most widely run experiment, both in research and in teaching. And the key thing is that students the participants, depending on their background, could have very different behavior. 好，所以我们现在有20张红心，表示说所有的组都已经加码到3小时，所以我们现在是进行最后一轮。那对，就是有哪一组愿意交黑桃？然后有人愿意交，感谢。So it's like peer pressure. So if everybody is doing something good, you also want to follow the crowd. But if nobody is doing this good deed, then you don't want to be the dum-dum. That's the only person that's contributing. And because of that, so there's very interesting dynamics, especially after one round the result is not satisfactory. Then some of the students would want to try to promote or try to give a speech to encourage people to contribute.
想要跟大家讲一件事情，就是呢，如果等一下大家都愿意把红色的牌拿出来的话，我们3轮结束之后，一共会拿到24分，然后24分加上3.07分是27.6分，然后最后得到的分数要除以2嘛，我们每个人会得到13.5分左右。这是就算你刚刚自己没有留红牌，大家今天结束之后就会拿到13.5分。所以如果大家愿意等一下把红牌拿出来的话，我们就可以大家在今天的实验课拿完所有的实验分数。The maximum score that we can get for our class experiments is 15. So even if we keep our black cards, it's not going to make anything better.
I think the fun part there is that it really depends on how credible or how the audience find the speech, and also sometimes whether or not the student has been has the reputation of doing good or not, then the results can go either way.
如果大家的目标是去让这些贪心的人所得利益最小的话，我们应该多缴2红。为什么？因为他们缴2黑人一定会比我们高2分的。那我们要怎么让他的2分最小化？就是让我们所有人分数最高。所以，如果你的不只是刚刚所有是非常合理的，如果你想要惩罚那些一定会贪心的，拜托你缴2红吧，这才真的好。Thanks for your sharing. 他们算了，就全部都交出来。那我们现在就进行民主的方式投票，好不好？觉得 OK 的举手，一组举一只手，我数一下有多少组，总共有多少组 ？Good. Wow. Good.
So now we'll go to round 3. 1, 2, 3. Please write down. For the price and quality market, that's actually the lemon market. So this is one of the best examples of adverse selection, where what you see here is that, well, when quality is unknown, then the problem here is that when the buyers cannot identify which firm is selling high quality products, then it's always the lower quality sellers that are very willing to sell, but the high quality sellers would refrain or would leave the market because they think this asking price is too low.
因为我骗人的话，如果我说这是 A 价，它就不可一定是 A 嘛，因为如果 A 价它就不符成本。
I don't trust you.
然后我一定比它便宜嘛，就是有理性的人都知道这一定，就是我想骗不了。
世界末日，大家不会卖好商品。
Okay, firm B.
我前面赚够了。
好像旁边价格都很低，所以你要claim我一下。
Of course, this is a big problem in terms of asymmetric information, which is very important in reality because in a lot of cases we only get to see the quality of a product after we buy it. And so, of course, there will be a lot of discussion about how you can try to either signal the quality of the product or to offer warranties or ways to solve this problem. Okay, so firm A is selling grade A at $30. Firm B is selling A plus at 61. Firm C, A plus at 67.
从前面经验可以看到我这一组最笨，所以我们应该是最诚实。
玩得不错。
I thought honesty should be the best policy, not honesty is the dumbest policy.
这个可以在21。
对啊。
可以去吧。Firm C.
Okay, firm C. Okay, firm C. All right. So do you want to sell a second unit? Yes. Okay. Where is number 4? So yeah, firm C as well. Okay. So firm C sells out. All right. And there are a lot of things that we do not have enough time to explore, but each one of these topics could actually develop into an entire course later on in the second year, in the third year, and so on. So if you find any part of economics interesting, then you should give it a try. Pick the topic that you find that is most interesting and try it out. Try more advanced courses. Or actually, I mean, for me, it's not only about trying advanced courses. It's about, if my students would start to, after they take this class, they all start to look at the news, look at the media, look at these online news from an economist standpoint. I think then that'll be my best. That'll be my greatest success, because I think I actually state in my syllabus that the goal of this class is to help you think like an economist, and I'm not sure how successful I am on that, but if the students find it interesting and they're willing to try to try to think like an economist in the future, I think that I think is the best for me. Okay. 不行啊，我就博轩，我这边都没有整理，跟你一样这种植物很那个的拍下来，这样可怕。
然后你不要看我比较
对啊，可是我就觉得非常的紧张，因为都没有整理。